Hello, Next Great Yugituber viewers. I am the best dressed in the contest, the one, the only, the RJB0. My friend Nick Gibson works for the Yu-Gi organization, and he is one hell of a deck builder. He has an interesting habit of taking very mundane decks and turning them absolutely explosive. This guy is the genius behind Rank Up Hunters and Raging Mad Sylvans, two decks that I will link you to in the description below. Today he is going to take us to a realm we never thought we could go with the new Masked Hero and Elemental Hero monsters coming out in the OCG as we speak, and even goes so far as to revive the infamous ShadowBlade Turbo. This video will just have the deck profile, but I will be uploading a video including combos and describing how to use the deck on my own channel, to which I will link you in the description below. Let's see how this goes. I'm having a good time, having a good time. Alright, so here we have my friend Nick Gibson from the organization coming with the best hero OCG deck I have seen so far. This is what you guys have to look forward to when the new hero structure deck comes out. What are you showing us today, Nick?
So this is an implementation on the old Karaz Phoenix Blade kind of deck, kind of like a DDT style deck. Basically just utilizing the new power of Shadow Mist in the deck.
Alright, what do you call it?
ShadowBlade Turbo.
Alright, let's get down to it.
We have the 3 Shadow Mist, which are the reason why the deck works. Basically, if he's sent to the graveyard by any means, you search a hero, and if he's special summoned, you can search any changed spell, which is what the deck is entirely revolving around. You have the 2 Diamond Dude, which are perfectly there because it's searchable off the Shadow Mist. Mills all 31 spells in the deck, pretty much, just essential to the deck. To get the Shadow Mist quicker and some of the other key pieces, we have 2 Summoner Monk, which is, the deck is full of spells, so you instantly get the Shadow Mist and then you get the change spell. You run 1 Voltic. The Voltic can trigger many cards in this deck, including Blazeman and Shadow Mist from the Banish Zone, because you're banishing so much with Phoenix Blade.
Can you explain what Voltic is, since we haven't seen it in a while?
Voltic is a Thunder. Keep that in mind.
That's important.
I keep thinking it's a warrior, but it is a Thunder card. So basically, if it deals battle damage to your opponent anyway, you get to summon any banished elemental hero specifically, which gets this guy, which will essentially, or this guy, and essentially net you either a change spell or a polymerization, which is really, really good for the deck. So that's the Voltic. And then we have 1 Bubble Man, simply for the mass change for Acid, and it's just there for another level 4. We have Blazeman, which, if many people don't know what this is, if it's normal or special summon, you add 1 polymerization from deck to hand, and then as an ignition speed, once per turn, you can send any hero from the deck to the graveyard, elemental hero, and then it copies basically everything about it, the attribute, the name, and everything. So what it's meant to do is dump Shadow Mist to +1, and that's a dark for the mass change, which is really, really, really relevant. We have the obvious, the 3 Miracle Fusion. This sets up for the banished plays and gets all the heroes gone so that you can get ready for form change. The 3 E-Call, because this is TCG ban list while maintaining an OCG deck. You need to get to Shadow Mist as quickly as possible. To maintain the style of the Karaz Blade deck, we have 3 Lightning Vortexes. That's our only monster removal in the deck, and the discard is free because of Phoenix Blade, and it triggers the Shadow Mist in the hand. The heart of the deck, you basically start the game with 4,000 life points every time. Hero Lives basically gets the Shadow Mist to instantly get you the mass change, or form change, it just depends. This is the best card in the deck. 3 mass change, for obvious reasons. I mean, it's what this deck is. I mean, this is like the toolbox of the deck, my favorite card of the deck. And then, screw trying to find this card, Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. I literally went for 2 weeks trying to find this card and could not find it. So basically, this card is based off the old Karaz Blade style. What you do is you equip it and it gives 300 attack, and that's cute, but you banish 2 warriors from the graveyard and you add this back to your hand. So it essentially becomes Sinister Serpent in a way, because you get to mitigate costs with a recurring +1. And you set up your banished for DDR, which is the other best card in this set, because it can get back the Shadow Mist to +1, it can get back the Blazeman to +1, it gets back the Voltic so that it can connect and then get another one back to +1. This deck is just full of nothing but toolbox. And then to search those, you have the 2 hidden armories. And the hidden armory is actually okay to run in the deck because you have Hero Lives. So you can open Hero Lives +1 and then hidden armory to get the Phoenix, and you don't normal summon or set, which is perfectly okay. The 2 Stone Excavation. This card essentially is a -1 with Phoenix Blade, but you can also hit it off Diamond Dude and just get free cards. The obvious 2 Rhoda for the Diamond Dudes, and not for Voltic. Very relevant. The 1 Polymerization, because a lot of the times you have abused Shadow Mist to the point where you have a lot of monster hands, and there are, I believe I counted out 11 ways to search monsters in the deck. So there's a lot of times where you have extra monsters in hand, and especially when you have Bubble Man, that's bad. So Polymerization ends up taking care of the monsters, and then if you poly to dump the 2 monsters, you can banish those for the sword and then keep plussing. Just a great card.
It's searchable off Blaze Man.
And it's searchable off, yeah, you're... So far, the OCG ratio is X polymerizations for X Blazeman. So if you run 1 Blazeman, you run 1 poly, 2 Blazeman, 2 poly, 3 Blazeman, 3 poly. And we have Form Change. I only run 1. So basically what this does is it returns the fusion monster to the extra deck, and then it special summons a masked hero with the same level as the one that you returned back to the extra deck. And so this is great with, it sets up Kamikaze, Koga, and Acid, along with the other hero fusions, because they're all level 8. So you can Miracle Fusion into something as Ab-Zero, and then Form Change it to wipe the opponent's field to go into Acid, and then wipe their back row. This is a very, very huge power play card. 1 Mass Charge, and a lot of people ask me why only 1. It's such a great card, but it's really bad when you're banishing often, and not to mention, you really don't want to pick up into this early game. It's a dead card, so you want to only see this like middle-late game. And then my tech of the deck, Parallel World Fusion, just the 1-of. Simply because you banish so often, and if there's a lot of times where you run dry on plays, and this is like an extra Miracle Fusion, but it resets Blazeman, Shadow Mist, and all the other cards back into the deck. Really, really, really good, especially Voltic.
Alright, let's just do a quick run-through of the X deck, and we can explain more combos later.
Okay. So, we've got the Xyz monsters, which is a standard, just Cowboy, Blade Armor, Abyss Dweller, Arc, and Exoton. This is basically it. You're not going to Xyz very often, so these are just for needed plays. Then we have the 1 Vapor. This is for the Form Change off of Dark Law. Dark Law's threatened. We have 2 Dark Law, which kills 80% of the format. Great card overall. 1 Escaridao for the Miracle Fusion. 1 Shining for Miracle Fusion. 1 Absolute Zero for Miracle Fusion. Nova Master for Miracle Fusion. And then we have Koga, which is there for the Mass Change Voltic. And Koga is really, really, really good as he sets up the DDR and stuff. The 1 Kamikaze, which is literally just there for drawing the plussing. It's basically an extra Nova Master. And then Acid to white back row, which is obvious. There are plays where you just drop Bubble Man, set Mass Change in the end, and then you Mass Change the Acid. So that's basically the deck.
So what made you think of this deck?
Actually, my favorite card is Karaz, and the Monarchs are coming out a lot more often, and I'm looking forward to Mega Karaz. And as a way to kind of utilize Karaz, I really wanted to go back to old format and play with Karaz, and then I realized, wait, so Shadow Mist is a card now. So I tried to make it with the new heroes, and it actually ended up turning out really well. Basically, this is, yeah, just lots of testing, lots of ideas being thrown around, and lots of fun, actually.
Alright, there you guys go. We will do a little more explanation on the deck in the Part 2 video, which will be on my channel.
Hey, if you liked this video, do hit that thumbs up button. It will hopefully allow me to get to the next round of this contest so I can bring you more great content through Underworld's channel. If you want to see more content unrelated to the contest, do hit the link in the description below. It will take you to my channel where you will find some great content, including an interesting possibility that I have promised my subscribers in case I do win this contest. Do check it out. Meanwhile, I'm your host, the RJB0. Thank you guys for watching. I got a jet. See ya.